Staying on religious matters, this week saw the exit of Church of England leader Justin Welby after the Macon report into the actions of abuser John Smith found he had failed to hold Smith to account even though he had become aware of his abuse. Now, this is the end of a long and torturous saga for the Church of England after years of not addressing the issue. Instead, they did everything they could to bury it. Indeed, last June, I highlighted such an instance where the church sacked a committee it had set up to investigate the issue. Do you know why? Because it didn't like their findings. Now, excuse the poor quality of the video. I was only starting off that. Interesting story this week I found. It was a story about the Church of England. Now, what happened was the Church of England in 2021, there was an excoriating report into sexual abuse within the church. And it said that the abusers had been allowed to hide in plain view in the church. So Church of England, being a responsible organisation, brought on an independent body, which they called the Independent Safeguarding Board, to have a look at them and see how they could advise them into making sure this didn't happen ever again, and a very sensible thing to do. So time passed, and two of the leading members of the board, they reported back to the church. But about the church, they said that the church wasn't giving them the information they needed to do their report and that they were getting stymied within the church. And the Church of England took this on board. They took it on the chin, and did what only a religious organisation would do. They sacked the board. They just sacked them. They sacked the whole board. What other organisation in the world could get away for that shite apart from a religion? No, look, imagine any other company trying to do that anywhere. No, but a church, sack them. Get new ones. Get the ones we want to get a nice report. Do you know, I read this. No, I felt sorry for the Catholics. You can just imagine cardinals in Rome reading this and going, Giovanni, what the bloody bastards, what they do, they just sack. Why we pay billions? We paying billions. Why we take? What the hell is going? We could have sacked them, Giovanni. We could have sacked them all. Oh. Do you know what? I might start my own church. I think I should start my own church, right? Because that's where the money is, isn't it? That's where the money is. The fifth collection today is for the upkeep of Jake's beard. That's what you want, isn't it? And nobody can call you out in anything. They don't pay any tax, and by this, nobody can be held accountable. What'll I call it? Church of the Rising Eagle. That's a good one. Church of the Rising Eagle. I can see me there. I can see me. I make it a big robe. I look good in a robe. Hopefully that video thwarts another example of where someone would have used the false equivalency fallacy, saying that as I defended the right of parishioners to go to their place of worship unmolested, I must also excuse the Catholic Church's past sins. Not so. But back to Welby, who made his final speech in the House of Lords this week, where he continued to refuse to accept any personal responsibility for the Smith scandal, and even made snide wee jokes about the whole issue. Naturally, the victims of Smith found this both insulting and yet more proof of just how unfit Welby was to head the Church of England. Now, traditionally, Archbishops of Canterbury, such as Welby, receive a peerage on standing down. I hope in his case that tradition is broken, as to reward him after such a disgraceful final appearance in that place would be the final insult to all those affected